Tehsiki just got called out after the interview with Jason, and I think she's lying about one thing. Okay guys, so basically Chrisean recently did an interview, right? And you can tell that she is pissed. She is angry because Tehsiki has been being shady on the interview apparently.
She insinuating stuff. Because Jason Lee asking her about my ex that died. So she insinuating shit.
Messy.
Like, you're weird. Bitch, I'm on paper. You know, if I did anything, they would know. Stop playing with me. Yeah, and then she say all that shit and be like, I miss her. Like, bro.
Now guys, Natalie Nunn just got beaten up by her makeup artist. You can go check out that video in the pinned comment or in the description. It's on my new drama page. It is not on this page. And trust me, we have some pretty good receipts and more photos that the T pages are not showing. So go over there. So we all know the reason why Chrisean brought up that whole situation with Tehsiki is because she was jealous of Tehsiki and the popularity that she was getting from the fans. Chrisean said herself that I forgave you from that, because she understands that Tehsiki was all messed up in their head from the situation that she went through, and she ended up repeating it and doing it to her sister. Now Tehsiki wants to say that that's not true. I don't believe her. I think it is true. But I think Chrisean brought it up because she wanted to damage Tehsiki's reputation because of the popularity she was getting from BADDIES. Now, when Chrisean exposed Tehsiki, she also brought up the situation with her nephew, who was also M'd and was going through a lot through that family. That's why Chrisean, when she did the sit down with Tehsiki, she wanted to move forward, because Chrisean cannot take any accountability. She cannot bring up the fact the reason why she brought that up was just to damage Tehsiki's image. Not because she actually cared about that situation, because she's saying herself, I forgave you.
And then I don't really like bringing up that other stuff that we talked about that was personal.
Yeah.
Because I could tell, like, she feels a way about the truth and how it make her look. But nobody blaming you. We was all kids. Like, nobody was supervising us. So, you know, like, I'm not blaming you, but let's call it for spade for spade. Let's call it truth. Like, I don't know, like.
Tehsiki went on an interview, and Jason Lee, congratulations. He had a good interview with Tehsiki. There was a lot said. Now, Tehsiki said that she doesn't F with Chrisean anymore, and she probably would never be effing with Chrisean. And she's disgusted because she's a mom, and people are just bringing this up to bring her down and damage her image because she's becoming successful. Now, also in this interview, Tehsiki insinuated that Chrisean paid her nephew to say those things, what he said about Tehsiki.
How did she get your nephew to come on and support that? Because the nephew.
Oh yeah.
So it was the
See,
whole.
that wasn't even no support. That right there was a whole, hey, that was from crazy. Now it goes back to Crazy in Love. Now we get into the sauce. It goes
This line she had to fix herself because she kept
right.
But basically insinuated that the nephew wanted to do a song with Tehsiki to like move on from the situation. Basically saying that he wanted to do an apology rap song with her. So when she says that, okay, it kind of makes sense if it's true, right? Okay, so he wants to get clout. He will apologize to you, but he wants to make an apology song. Now, this is the thing. Tehsiki showed no proof of this. She showed no messages, nothing. There was no evidence. And he ended up going on live, and his mother, which is Tehsiki's sister, and they dragged her and called her out for lying.
Was come on there and tell the truth. You know, they just sent me a clip of her lying ass on Jason Lee talking about you was paid $2,500 from Chrisean. The money ran out, and now you want to do a song where I'm apologizing to her. You lying bitch. So what I'm going to do, I reached out to Jason Lee, and I'm reaching out to some other people. We going to do this lie detector test. Her career is done. She's done. I'm so tired of her lying ass.
Well, no, now, first of all, that's false. That's a lie. Second of all, I haven't talked to my aunt since I exposed her ass. Even before I exposed her, I haven't talked to her in a while.
Thanks.
And it's a reason why she won't come over here on my panel and say I'm lying in my face.
Right. Common sense. That's why I said, why the world not saying this? None of them have not came on your channel not one time.
Now,
to try to Oh,
Nobody
I'm sorry, Tristan. Like they not going to. But what?
condone none of that shit. I never got paid $2,500. What the fuck? I'm a cheap bitch to you. What am I? A $2 hoe? Nigga, you know how much these diamonds and shit cost on me, nigga. You see how the fuck I'm living? And you talking about some $2,500? Bitch, stop playing with me.
Now, honestly, I believe them. I think Tehsiki is not being honest about it because who wants to be painted in that image of someone that did that to their little sister? So I don't think she is ever going to admit that she did this. Now, she said she was going to take them to court. Like, I just feel like if you have evidence to back up that this is like just all for clout chase and they were paid, show the evidence. But again, if it's going through court, then okay, I guess she can't really show the evidence, right? Until it all ends. Or is she using that as a justification so she can not have to bring it up by saying, oh, well, we're in court, I can't bring it up, I can't show you receipts. It's just all really sucks. But me personally, I do think she did it and she just does not want to admit to it. And it's sad because I think Tehsiki is a likable person, you know? I definitely think that most likely Tehsiki has probably grown. She probably went through trauma and curses through her family and she has grown and has been able to fix herself. But when you keep lying and trying to make out those people who are speaking out liars who are clearly hurt, because I'm sure if there was like somewhat of a proper apology to Tehsiki's nephew and some look, I'm so sorry I did this to you, and da-da-da-da-da-da, they would have never brought it up. You know, he doesn't believe in the whole police situation, going to the police or whatever. So I feel for him coming out, this is the justice for him, which makes sense. Me coming out, exposing you is my justice. I feel good coming out, telling people what you did to me and how you effed up my, my childhood. So now, Chrisean was also peed off because she said that Tehsiki insinuated that she did something to her ex-boyfriend who was trying to figure out if Chrisean and Blueface's child was his because, he was having a paternity test and all that. By the way, the family could have continued to get that paternity test. Have we heard from the family? Nope. Have they done anything regarding that paternity test to figure out if it was their son's child? Nope. We haven't heard anything. So if there has been, shine a light on it and I'll go talk about it, make a video, but there hasn't been. Now, at first, Tehsiki did not insinuate it.
He really did get murdered? I mean, I saw that online. That was real?
Yes, that was.
And did you know him?
Rest in peace. So yes, I fed that boy.
How did he end up getting murdered? Was he in the streets, in the stuff, or was that just a random thing?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can't even speak on it. But if I was to speak on it, it don't look too good for certain people that we know. So I'm not going to speak on it.
He ran up on Chrisean when she was out in public.
He did. And then he had a paternity test coming up or something.
And then it was all online.
And then it was pow, pow, pow. No paternity test. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, his soul.
That's sad.
It's very sad, especially because I fed him.
It was till later in the interview she kind of did when she brought up the paternity test. Now, I don't know if this was intentionally or not intentionally, but yeah, Chrisean basically feels that Tehsiki brought this up because of a situation that happened live.
I thought we was doing good when she said pray for us up until she started doing other stuff. I was on Talil's stream. This is how it all started. I started seeing exchanges between me and her. I'm on Talil's stream. He said something and he tried to say, you can't be Tehsiki, you can't. And I'm like, I love my sister. But he kept saying, you can't be Tehsiki. You take it. And I said, I love my sister. Stop doing that.
You can't be Tehsiki. You can't be Tehsiki.
I love my sister.
You can't be
I love
Tehsiki.
my sister.
I'm calling Tehsiki right now.
Who ain't
See that
calling?
my shit. See that I'm blazing. See that I'm blazing.
You can do that. I love my
You
sister.
can
I
do.
don't care.
My life.
Go get
You can't be Tehsiki. You can't.
So she reposted it and said, pray for us. All right, cool. Jason Lee dropped an interview. She insinuating stuff. Because Jason Lee asking about my ex that died.
But yeah, at the end of the day, what do you guys think about this whole situation? By the way, I made a video about Natalie getting her ass beat. You can go check that out right here.